This is the Kabab 5, designed by FPV Kabab himself for maximum performance and indestructibility, shoved into the smallest form factor. Everything is well thought out and secure, and clearances are tight. And I mean really tight. With thrust to weight ratios approaching 9 to 1, this thing is a rocket, and I'd be surprised if you could break it. It's a true X-frame with cross braces, and it has these tabs for you to zip tie the video antenna onto. In fact, the VTX isn't actually secured to anything. The antenna is firmly secured in place and the VTX connects to it. The power leads get zip tied to this tab facing forward. This way, upon impact, the battery can be ejected, and there's no stress on the power distribution board. You can also strap a GoPro on top with variable camera angle, just with the battery strap. I'm using the DYS SE2205 size 2300 kV motors. These are on par with the Emax motors, and they're kind of unique, using a screw to hold the drive shaft in place, and they have the prettiest coils I've ever seen. Those are controlled by the latest Acon 30A ESCs with the newest BL-Heli-S firmware. Those are soldered to the motors and then secured with a single layer of electrical tape. I'm using this VTX Systems power distribution board, which has onboard selectable 12 and 5 volt buck converters, as well as other features to help keep things clean and tidy. On top of that is an SP Racing F3 flight controller that I direct soldered all the ESCs to. I was too stubborn to get a radio system with a serial receiver, so I actually took a big 6-channel PWM receiver, depinned it, and direct soldered everything to it. For video, I'm trying out the Runcam Owl Plus. It has a nice wide angle view, 700 TV lines, and vivid colors, but being a CMOS sensor, it doesn't quite have the dynamic range that a CCD camera does for flying under trees and stuff. It does see pretty good in the dark though. That video is being fed to a Foxeer selectable 25 or 200 milliwatt video transmitter with a built-in microphone and push-button channel selector with LED indicators. For antennas, I'm using the 4-leaf Aomways, which seem really sturdy, and I like the way they stay where you bend them. And the battery is this crazy 65C 1300 mAh 4S LiPo. For firmware, I'm actually not using CleanFlight or Betaflight, but RaceFlight. Cutting edge stuff. There's only a limited number of these frames, and they're very affordable. I'll link every single thing I used for this build in the description if you want to check them out. I could probably count the number of times I've flown a quad FPV with my fingers, so anything I do that looks cool is probably by accident or at least my first time trying.